Oh!
Oops.
Oh. I'm coming with a bin to put all these body parts in. Alright, welcome back to the Mopping Simulator 5000.
That's with me, Salford Sal, and him over there, Anubis.
Yep, the Anubis.
And yeah, and it seems this is our storytelling episode, our storytelling series.
That's right. That's the plan.
We share our life experiences with each other.
Yep. Yeah, and you have scary taxi drivers. We've learned that.
Well, actually,
well, not taxi drivers. Scary taxi rides. Good taxi.
Yeah,
drivers.
yeah. Oh, I've just knocked that light over. Oh, it's okay. It seems to be stable.
It didn't explode on you? How come they always explode on me?
I did the left click and hold when I put it on the floor, and it seems to have stabilized it.
Oh, okay. I always seem to break them before I even get to put them down.
Ah.
Like I knock them up against something, and then it just all bad things happen. All manner of bad things.
All right, let's get a few more of these chunks in the incinerator, I think.
Yeah, cleaning up the majority of this mess. Oh no!
Oh.
Don't do it.
Ah.
Guy saved it. Come through
I'll
with a bucket.
bring you another bucket while I'm on my way back.
Okay. Actually, we need a bin. I'm gonna go grab a bin because we have a lot of things to move out of there.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I guess,
no! That was a dirty water
you
bucket.
told a traumatic story, so I guess it's my turn to tell a traumatic story. So, I don't have many of them, which is a good thing. I'm happy about that. But when I was, I think, 16, I worked in an ice cream shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was a little ice cream, or it was a pretty successful ice cream parlor, and I worked there a lot of the night shift, or like the closing shifts, and I was in there working away one day, and we're closing up. So like at the end of the shift, somebody was like taking care of the cash checkout, right? Somebody was like mopping up and cleaning up inside, and that's what I was doing. I was mopping. So actually, I was mopping. I was mopping away, and somebody also goes out every night, and they would drop the garbage right into the bins outside.
Yeah.
And we did this like while the guy was cashing out, which now we realize this probably wasn't the greatest idea.
Yeah.
But and we whoops, wrong thing. So I was just mopping away inside, and all of a sudden, the guy that who went out to take the garbage out, he comes walking back in with like a very white face, like ghost face, right?
Yeah.
Like something bad happened. And then behind him follows this guy in a black balaclava, and he's holding a gun to the guy's head.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like right in the back of his head, and walking him back in. It's like a pistol.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he walks in, he looks at everybody, and just looks at the guy who's running the cash, and throws him a bag and says, put all the money in the bag.
Yeah.
So we're all just staring, right? Just like frozen stiff and staring at this all happening. The guy at the cash starts to load the money into, like, open it up and load the money into the bag.
Yeah.
And the guy with the gun, he looks right at me because I froze, right? I stopped and I froze and I looked right at him. Wasn't doing anything anymore. Oops. You taking that out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're
Glitching.
dropping it everywhere.
I've got something in my hands, but it's a jiggly foot, I think.
That's awesome.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
But yeah, so I look right at the guy,
Yeah.
and he looks right back at me, and we stare at each other. And then he takes the gun, and he points it like away from the guy, because he was pointing it at the cashier.
Yeah.
And he takes it and he points it right at me, and I was close enough to look down the barrel of the gun, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's not a fun experience. So I'm just like staring at, and he looks right at me and he says, "Keep doing what you're doing." And so I looked down at the ground and I started mopping again. It's like, okay, yes, that's what I'll do. I will mop. And so I mopped the same spot. I didn't move or anything. I just mopped the same spot.
It. Wow.
Yeah. So then he was, he got the money and then he ran out the back door. He'd actually hit, because once he was gone, we called the police.
Yeah.
And we had to, everyone had to do statements and all that kind of stuff. And the guy that actually went out in the back to put the garbage away, the guy that robbed the place was hiding behind the dumpster.
Oh, right.
And when he came out to put the garbage in, he came around and actually clocked him over the head with the butt of the gun.
Right.
So he was holding his head and he was, because the guy that went out, the guy that took the garbage out was a big guy, big burly, over 6 feet tall and probably 300 pounds or something. Hey, we can read this later. Big guy, right? Intimidating guy. And so when he basically got taken, he was really mad at himself for letting it happen, and everybody was like, dude, it's not, it wasn't worth your life to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was mad that he kind of just let it happen, because the guy clocked him and then he was dizzy.
Yeah.
And he really couldn't, he didn't know what he was doing anymore. He was kind of out of it. But yeah, so we found out afterwards they actually caught the guy because he was the most brilliant of criminals ever. He was an ex-employee of the place and I knew the guy. I didn't realize who he was at the time, but he got fired and was upset about it. So he knew the routine of the place, and then came by to steal the money because he felt he was due it or whatever. And he went home, and they basically followed, they I can't remember exactly how it happened, but they found him pretty much right away. And he must have left tracks or something, and I don't know. But they found the guy, and he still had, he had the money and everything just laid out on the coffee table, and it's a brilliant mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that was my traumatic story. Not quite as bad as yours, but.
Oh, I have plenty of. I say it comes with the territory. I won't tell you about it right now because I've only recently told the story about. I was kidnapped in Venezuela, and that one was a successful kidnapping, as opposed to the hijacking, which was an unsuccessful hijacking. But I'll
for
tell
who,
that
I
story
guess.
some other time when it's not quite so recently on my channel.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we don't. I know this is a game about cleaning up after disasters, but we don't necessarily have to talk about our own personal disasters.
Indeed. But I'll tell you.
Coming through. Bucket.
Something that was quite a funny consequence of being kidnapped, and I haven't told anybody about this yet, but because you're over 18, I can tell you this bit of the story. What happened was after being kidnapped, and it all worked out all fine in the end, but got back to the UK, and I was in a situation where I couldn't work for a while, and I was put in a safe house.
Oh my goodness.
We were. It was myself and a colleague, and we were in a situation where, we couldn't work. We had to sort of keep things frozen and stuff like that. Anyway, the safe house where I was living was in a very, very rough end of town, and I get on with people. I can mix with people of all kinds of backgrounds, and I got to know some of the people on the street where I was living, and there was there was two women who I particularly got on with. They're like two big black women who were such a giggle. They're both sort of in their 50s, if not older. One of them was a retired police officer, and the other one was a chatline girl. And they were long-term friends. They'd known each other for years, and they decided with the police officer who just retired, they decided to set up their own business, which was they were going to do chat lines. And now my background was in joint ventures and setting up businesses and all of that kind of thing, and I also had a telecoms background to me as well. Because wow. I was in a situation where I couldn't work and I had nothing better to do with my time, and there was these two characters who I really enjoyed being around. So I asked them if we kind of got discussing, and I was saying if they wanted any help in sort of getting the business set up, I'd be more than happy to pitch in.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I was thinking I can help them set up their books. I can help them set up the legal entity. I know a lot about telecoms regulation in the UK, so I could help just advise them on a lot of stuff while I had nothing better to do with my time. And so I did. While they were getting their business set up, I was helping them just with all that sort of practical business type stuff. And then as they actually started getting the company up and running, they set up two sort of rooms. One was a top shelf chat line, sex chat line, which was a complete eye opener to me, I can tell you. And the other room was a tarot card reading. Oops! Oh.
I'm coming with a bin to put all these body parts in. I seem to be able to take the bins better than you can, so I'll do that.
Cool. Yeah, I can. If it's got large chunks in it or lots of quantity, then it seems to glitch out for me.
Yeah, I noticed that. So if you go ahead and fill them up though, and just let me know, and I'll take them.
Oh, cool. There's one out here that doesn't seem to be behaving itself very well. I'll leave that there for you.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. I'll come and do some mopping.
Sounds good.
So once they got the organisation set up, while they were sort of still recruiting staff and all that kind of thing, I did them a favour and I worked as a nighttime supervisor for them for a little while. Because they needed to. It wasn't so much the sex chat line as the tarot card reading chat line, where there was very specific regulations about what you can and can't say.
Oh really?
Yeah. So and the two women, they actually trained me in tarot card reading so that I could understand quite what it was that the readers were doing, and it's quite bizarre. The people who call into the tarot card chat lines, there's quite a high proportion of suicide, people on the edge of suicide.
Really?
And we had to set up a procedure for dealing with that. And I was, I did nighttime supervision for about 2 months. So I was only doing part-time. I do a couple of nights a week. Just sort of like take any time they had new people, we'd get them all on one shift and I'd do the training and all that sort of thing with them. But in that time I had 3 suicide callers to deal with. And they'd always hand them over to, because it was always the supervisor who needed to handle the suicide calls.
Oh yeah. Wow.
But yeah, oh my word, I saw some of the strangest things doing that job.
Yeah, sounds like it. You've definitely had a eventful life so far.
Yeah, it's I've always been tempted by interesting things, and it seems it doesn't matter. It's all right. You wanna? Cool.
There's a few things in there.
It doesn't matter what I do or how dull a job I think I'm taking. There's always something interesting can happen.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
At one point, so it would be another long story, but I really needed to understand how to talk to accountants. And so I figured the best way to do that was to go and work with accountants.
Yeah, that definitely will do it.
I took a career break and I got myself a job working as a bookkeeper. I'd been a commercial strategist immediately before, but yeah, so I took a job and it was like barely more than minimum wage, and it was really easy, and it was like doing Sudoku puzzles every day. In a way, it was quite fun. But while I was doing that job, the banking crash happened, and I was working for.
Got timing too.
I was the bookkeeper for an investment banker, and it was fascinating. And I, because I had I kind of knew what was going on and stuff. So, yeah, I actually made a little bit of money on the stock market while I was there.
Oh well, there you go. Can't say no to that.
Yeah. It was because things crash, and you know who's stable. I was always very good at. Cause I had the same thing when I was working in telecoms, and the telecoms bubble burst as well, where it bursts for everybody, but you know that not everybody is in trouble. Yeah. So you know who to gamble on.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I've had a couple of lucky wins on the stock market.
Well, that's cool. I'm assuming that we need to put all of these bins and like these barrels and stuff in there. So how are we doing on the... Looks like it's actually getting quite...
Yeah.
Not so mucky.
Oops.
I think that we're getting close to having this place cleaned up.
I think we are.
Oh my goodness.
Shall I... I'll try the widget.
Oh yeah. The, what did you call it?
Sniffer.
The sniffer.
Hey, sorry about that. Sneeze just came out of nowhere.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Oh, here we got a note. What does the note say? Bob, Junior Executive Janitor. I finally reached the waste disposal sector in hope of finding safety. The things I've seen while fleeing, truly horrible. I've done only what I can do. People won't understand. I only hope that they can forgive my actions. I plan to make for the docking area and hopefully stow away on the next ship off the station. They must never find me. Okay. So, if he doesn't want people to find him, then I guess we should burn this, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
In the docking area. I wonder, is there a docking area in here? Or is that maybe in another map?
Maybe.
I wonder if we have to do anything. Here, let me get my mop out. There's stuff on the walls in here.
Ah, that must be what it's detecting then. Yeah.
Oh, is this bucket?
I'll get you a fresh bucket.
Thank you. There's another one over here.
Oh,
I bet you I can't clean it in this water, can I? No. That would be too easy. I think this bucket. This bucket's getting close to being done, I think. The one that I have over here.
Here you go, bring this one to you. Sorry, I just got a limb out the machine.
Okay, I think I got it all. I don't. My mop isn't getting. Oh, what's this? There, there's. Oh no, that's just red. Thought it was blood, but it was just a red thingy. We got stuff all in here too.
Oh, this thing won't fit in the incinerator, I don't think. No.
What is that?
There's a large thing there. Doesn't fit in the incinerator.
Oh. It's obviously a body part came out of here.
Yep.
All right, well that's 20 minutes. We can actually do one on time this time, and maybe in the next episode we'll actually get to finish off and see what happens in the end. We'll see. I think we're close. So see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.